What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Here with another spectacular interview. I am so excited for this. Legendary emo goats. I mean, that's the way you put it, right? Mineral. They're coming back. They're doing some finale. They're doing maybe the big finale, the big farewell, which is tragic, but at least it gives me a chance to talk to the one and only Chris Simpson. So, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Good, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Dude, yeah, thank you so much. I want to give just a quick shout out to the amazing Best Friends Forever press team because I've been hounding them for the contact list for 6 months now. And they got it to me, and that's the way I got in contact. So I really appreciate that. You know who you are. Thank you so much. And now I mean just to get to the meat of it all, I am so excited that you guys are playing this juggernaut of a festival. Tell me about it. How did y'all come to get on the lineup? How did you decide that you were going to do this in one more hometown show? How are you feeling?
Yeah, feeling pretty good. It always feels like no matter how early we start preparing for something like this, it never feels like enough. So, it really feels like crunch time now. We're just doing so much rehearsing and it takes a lot of just hours and repetition to get back to the feel of things. I think there's something more than just playing parts involved in this. Like there's a real there's a real feel to it that it takes a lot of work, especially I don't know, maybe as we get older, things are harder. Physically, stamina, what from that perspective. But yeah, we're excited about it. It just, they just asked us, and I think we kind of put them off the first few times they came around, the Best Friends Forever offering for the festival. More than anything, because I think we just like, yeah, I don't know, maybe we're already done, maybe it's already wrapped up again. So when it uh, when it got brought up as the possibility of like, well, maybe this is a more intentional farewell or way to put a tie bow on this thing. That sounded kind of fun. It's always fun to get together with these guys and play and reconnect with this music, and even more than that, it's always fun to now get to go connect with the people who have discovered this music over the years and who get some of that energy back from them.
I know it's going to be monumental. And I was doing some digging, looking around at what y'all put on Instagram, what's on, websites or whatever. And I learned that your first show was in drag, which I think that
Yeah,
is spectacular. And I was just wondering, you have to bookend something like this. You have an opening
yeah,
chapter, you have a closing chapter. I think you see where I'm going with this. Are we going to see
I
the
do.
return of the mineral drag show?
I don't know if we are. It has definitely been brought up. I think what's funny is back when we first did that would have been 94, I guess. Yeah, I think a lot of bands were doing it, like there was like Nirvana, was kind of known for doing it occasionally. I think we just thought it would be fun and fresh and like maybe take a little pressure off of ourselves. Um, but I don't know, now it feels like maybe there's more tied to it. It would almost feel I don't know. I don't know how to explain that further. You know what I mean? Like it's a serious issue facing a lot of people in this country. Like being sort of told you can't be a certain way or identify a certain way or express yourself a certain way. And I guess something feels a little, maybe it would be feel a little disingenuous for us to be doing that now. But It was certainly fun. I wish there was more photographic evidence of it, or any photographic evidence of it.
Yeah, I
That'd be
could
fun, or
find
some
anything.
video footage. Yeah, I couldn't either.
But no, I think that's a lovely way to put it, and I totally understand where you're coming from. Especially, I mean, even today I heard news that a lot of these late night shows like Jimmy Kimmel just got canceled because of some statements that I am not going to repeat because
Yeah,
that's kind of scary, right? But
yeah.
I think that whole the presence of journalism, the presence of our beautiful alternative scene and the LGBTQIA plus, everything is being slowly erased, and it's scary. It's really scary, you know?
It
And
really is. Yeah. Um, it's a scary timeline we're in. It's there's just so much. I don't know. Like there's so much. Everyone's getting different information, you know, and making their own sort of inferences from the information that they're choosing to find, and yet we're sort of interacting with one another in this country along these lines of division where we assume that everyone has the same information and is making completely different uh, judgments based on that information. But in reality, I think everyone is getting whatever information they want, like sort of tailor, like this digital media age, like the information everyone gets is tailor fit for them, to amplify their own prejudices or like reinforce what they already believe. So it's a tough time and place. Yeah, and journalism is so essential uh, in this landscape, and yet it is clearly being sort of demonized, and like the people in power only want one side of stories told.
exactly. No, it's a horrible, horrible pressing issue, especially to see everything. I don't want to say crumbling down because that sounds hopeless, but maybe falling down in a not so elegant manner.
Yeah.
And it's horrible, especially even we can relate to music, right? Like I don't think I ever would have discovered, alternative, emo, whatever you want to call it, underground, the scene, if it wasn't for me trying out new things, if there wasn't, people telling me different things than what I've been hearing, you know? And I think that's so essential. It's so important to hear the other opinions, to listen to the other music, as maybe it's less important than, politics or whatever, but I feel like it still connects. And yeah, maybe not, maybe you won't, go up fully in drag, but the heart's there. I see
The
that.
heart is
We
there.
all see
Yeah.
that.
Yes. Yeah. And if it was something that could be done like, in just a spirit of fun without anything other than that, like I would love to do it. I'm the one who brought it up, this time, like, wow, we really do probably have to bookend this, with that. And yeah, our hearts are there, and it's just a shame, like many things. Like I think such a wonderful way to express yourself and to connect with other people is just through play, in a sense. And I think that's why music is so powerful. Um, and when I think about us doing that at our first show back in the day, that's what it felt like, just being playful and free. And that spirit is certainly still kind of the most important thing to us, I think.
No, for sure. And I totally know it's going to be there, come October, what is like the maybe second to last weekend of October, whatever it is,
Hmm.
when that comes. I can't wait to see the videos and see everything. Now, you're talking about rehearsal, right? Which is a daunting task for many musicians, including myself and my band. Are there any songs that have proven more difficult to, in a case, relearn or maybe, focus on some parts, any parts that are more complex? Or was it all maybe just a refresh and you're kind of getting back into it? There's not much to grapple with.
Yeah, there's plenty to grapple with for us, like all along the way, because what I alluded to earlier, just like there's such a feel to everything with Mineral, and it can, you can be playing your parts, quote unquote, and know the songs, like we clearly do, uh, and still sort of not be getting at the heart of like the feel of them. And I think that's what takes so much time and repetition to recapture. Um, and I think for us, yeah, it's interesting. There's just songs that feel that almost always feel pretty good when we play them, and there's other songs that almost always feel like a struggle when we play them, and that changes over time. Like it's funny during this process, I'm noting that some songs that felt like to me some of the strongest songs in the set when we first did the reunions in like 2014, 2015, I'm really struggling with now. Like aren't feeling as strong or confident to me. So, but then there's other ones that, like even now I'm like, oh, this is finally, I'm starting to feel strong and confident about this. Uh, so I don't know. Like, I think Mineral has always walked this sort of tight wire between confidence and um, sort of uh, whatever the opposite of that would be, kind of not knowing what we're doing, So I think we're still firmly there.
No, I love that. And I get that. Any musician watching gets that
Hmm.
100%. And I think that's what keeps it interesting. Maybe not
Yeah,
knowing what there is to see, maybe not knowing the full feeling, you know? It's exciting. It's really,
yeah,
really
it
exciting.
is. Yeah, and it's like, rehearsal it's not necessarily supposed to be where the fun happens. I mean, not that it's not, I enjoy it. I enjoy getting to go play and music and be with these guys, but it's work, it's where you do the hard work for many, many hours over the course of many, many months leading up to something like this, in the hopes that things will be fun when the actual shows happen, and you'll be prepared for how things go, But yeah, I think it always feels like it takes every second we have to prepare. Like it never feels like we have too much time.
Yeah, I'm gonna show this clip to my bandmates. They need to hear this affirmation from you. And with rehearsal, I notice that oftentimes we'll get maybe like a new snippet of something when you're just jamming, just goofing off. You hear something new you might like, and that turns into more than something. And I'm obligated to ask. I'm sure you knew it was coming. Are we going to see maybe a new song? Has something been brewing, something been baking behind the scenes?
Hmm. Yeah, I think it's interesting when I first dove into this earlier this year, when we first accepted this show offer and started getting together, I really just had all this stuff kind of pouring out of me, material that felt like new Mineral material. And I was really excited about this. I think as the year has gone on, we've sort of realized like we have our work cut out for us just getting the songs prepared to play the songs that people know at these shows. And I think ultimately that's what people are going to be there to hear. Um, but I do hope, I still hold a lot of hope for us doing that again together. Like after this, like it's funny, almost, part of me as much as I'm excited about this happening as it's getting closer, uh, part of me is excited about it being in the rear view so we can like see what's next, which whatever that might be. To me, I think it's still a very compelling, interesting idea to conceivably make another record together with these guys, especially if we take every other idea off the table. Like maybe we won't be playing live anymore. Like maybe we won't be doing tours, but like I still think it'd be really fun and interesting to potentially make a record together. So that's, that's something that I still think would be a really interesting idea. Whether or not that means it will happen is, to be seen.
Hmm. I think that's very exciting. And I think Mineral's a special band where a follow-up, a decade in the making is interesting. I think
Hmm.
it's invigorating, it's refreshing, especially where you left off, the legend status of your previous material. It almost makes sense. And in the spirit of the emotional music you make, it also kind of makes sense. There is something at the end of it to be found. I think there's always, whenever I'm listening to your music, there's always something I'm reaching for. And who knows, maybe this next album just could be that final, you know, the apple from the
Yeah,
tree. That'd be exciting. That'd be
yeah,
really, really exciting. That'd be special.
yeah. I feel that way too. Like I said, we'll just have to see what happens. But yeah, it feels like a very interesting, compelling idea to me, and really something that I think could be a really special thing for fans too.
Hmm. And speaking of special things, I think one of the most special ideas that's come out of this reunion has been the hometown show. I mean, that
Yeah,
looks banging. That looks incredible. Tell me more about that.
yeah. It's, as soon as we announced the fast appearances, we were like, yeah, it'd be really, be really, it'd be weird not to play in our hometown again. So we kind of had to wait a while to let the fest sort of play out, and then yeah, we got permission to do a hometown show, and pretty excited about it. We got our old buddies Silver Scooter back together for it, which is fun because they're mostly still in Austin, but their singer uh, Scott lives in San Francisco now, so he'll be coming back for it. So it's like a little bit of work for them to get back together for it, but it'll be real fun to do a show where we're playing with them again, like we did so many times back in the original Mineral era.
I think it's going to be I think it's going to be perfect. There's no other way for it to possibly go. Getting all the friends back together, getting the band back together, doing all the
Yeah,
cliche things. Now you just got to get Jejun back on there and like explosion, you know?
yeah,
And you kind of already talked about it, but I guess that this is the end of touring, right? Because I live in Atlanta, in Georgia,
hmm,
and I don't think we've been graced by your presence in a hot minute, by the
yeah.
band's
It's
presence in
been
a hot minute.
probably 2019 maybe we did this show there in 2014 or 15. Um, yeah, it's the sort of thing where like you know we just kind of take opportunities as they come along and size them up and see if it makes sense for us in our lives. And you know i don't I don't think anyone is completely opposed to any ideas. We're just yeah, kind of taking one thing at a time. Like these feel like it feels like if this really is kind of farewell and we're not going to be playing live anymore, then maybe it would make sense to do a few more shows to kind of commemorate that. But that's not anything we have planned or anything we're actively planning.
Mhm. No, I 100% get that. It is scary though, right? I've never thought about that being in such a storied band and in a sense having to let go. How are you grappling with those feelings knowing that this could very possibly be the end of Mineral as we know it?
Yeah. Well, I think it is. Like I think regardless of what happens after this, I think it's going to be different than what has been so far. So in a way, I guess being in a band and the creative pursuit of that is always like you're always embracing these little deaths of eras and phases and new births of new ones. So I think that's okay. We're certainly all at a point in our lives where, yeah, it doesn't make sense for us to be out touring all the time. It doesn't. In a way, I think we recognize that this is kind of a young person's game in a lot of ways, and something can continue to feel special to us and to the people who the idea of doing like a record or something together could be fun. Doing a show here or there could be fun, but like the reality is the material is it's heavy material to lift, if you
Yeah.
will. And we feel that work more at this age than we used to. Um, so yeah, it just makes sense naturally that things shift as you get older and the way things manifest in your life is different.
Yeah, things happen, but that's exciting. It's a positive note, you know?
Yeah,
And I just want to say thank you so much once more, for being willing to talk.
yeah, no
Thanks to
worries.
the publicity team and everyone, the management, what best management, Jeff,
Mm-hmm.
great people. For my
For
last
sure.
question, I just
Okay.
want to ask, I kind of have to finish with this question. What's your favorite memory of Mineral? What's the one thing that you're always going to keep with you from your what almost wow like 3 decades?
Mm-hmm.
Three? Yeah, 3 decades with the band. 3.5. It's crazy. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess my favorite memory would probably be just the feeling of those early reunion shows in 2014, the first ones we did, because we never really got to see like the response that there was to the band, the original time out. We did to some degree, certainly. We played shows and people showed up and were into it, but you know, when we came back in 2014, just to immediately be playing these really great bigger venues with great sound systems, like to be able to just have this experience that we never really had before was just felt so magical. And also, I think in the original Mineral era, there was a real feeling. Maybe some of it was just youth or lack of maturity, but there was a real feeling for us of like it was us against the world, and it was kind of like we were kind of isolated in this little bubble. Like was Mineral was a very insular thing. And oftentimes on stage we would even like I would turn my microphone around to face the drummer, like we were playing for and with each other, like not really for anyone else. Um, and so it was a real treat and gift starting in 2014 with these reunion tours to get to experience a whole other side of this band, which is this connection to the people who have resonated with the band and sort of kept it alive and given us the opportunity to come back and play and tour and do all this now.
A perfect note to end off on.
Mhm.
Perfect. Just like the final chapter. Again, really appreciate you sitting down. I know, it's in the late evening for you. So thank you so much. I
Yeah,
cannot
no
wait to
worries.
see the videos of what goes down in Las Vegas and
Yes, me too.
stay in touch. This is crazy. It's amazing.
All right. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, man. Peace out.
Appreciate it.